The Devoted Friend. Chapter 1. Hans and the Miller. One morning, an old water rat put his head out of his hole. He could see a mother duck trying to teach her little ones how to stand on their heads in the water. The mother duck was being very patient with them. "I couldn't waste my time like you," said the water rat to the mother duck. "I am not a family man. Friendship is much more important than love. Nothing in the world is more important than a devoted friend." "And what do you think are the duties of a devoted friend?" asked a small bird who was sitting in a nearby tree and had overheard the conversation.
"What a silly question," said the water rat. "I should expect my devoted friend to be devoted to me, of course."
"Let me tell you a story on the subject," said the bird.
"Is the story about me?"
asked the water rat.
"If so, I will listen to it."
"You will know if it is about you," answered the bird, and he flew down and told the story of the devoted friend. "Once upon a time," said the bird, "there was an honest and happy little man named Hans. He lived in a very small house by himself, and every day he worked in his beautiful garden. Hans had many friends, but the most devoted friend of all was the miller. The miller was so devoted to Hans that he never went past his garden without picking some flowers and fruit from the trees. "Real friends must share everything," the miller often said, and little Hans was pleased that he had a friend with such good ideas. Sometimes, however, Hans's other friends thought it strange that the rich miller never gave little Hans anything in return. Hans never thought about this. He liked to listen to the miller talk about devoted friendship. During the spring, the summer, and the autumn, Hans worked in his garden and was very happy. But when the winter came and he had no fruit or flowers to sell, he was often cold and hungry. He was very lonely because the miller never came to see him then.
"There is no good reason for me to go and see Hans while there is snow on the ground," the miller used to say to his wife. "When people are not happy, they should be left alone and not have to talk to visitors. So I shall wait till the spring comes, and then he will be able to give me lots of flowers, and that will make him so happy."
"You are very thoughtful toward others," answered his wife. "But why can't we ask Hans to come here?" asked the miller's youngest son. "If he is unhappy, I will give him half of my food."
"What a silly boy you are," cried the miller. "If Hans came here and saw our fire and our food and wine, he might feel envious of us. And envy is not a good thing to feel. It would make Hans a bad person. Also, if he came here, he might ask me to let him have some flour, and that I could not do. Flour is one thing and friendship is another."
As soon as the winter was over and there were flowers in Hans's garden again, the bird continued, the miller planned to visit little Hans. "What a good heart you have," cried his wife. "You are always thinking of others. Take the big basket with you and fill it with Hans's flowers."